According to Bloomberg calculations, hedge funds that had short positions against Tesla between election day and Friday's close took an on-paper hit of at least $5.2 billion.
I could argue it's the most undervalued AI play in the market today.
When you look at the valuation now hitting $1 trillion intraday today, we think it's at fair value.
Tesla betting the farm on full self-driving, but they appear to be at least a year or two behind Waymo.
All that and more. So let's get to it. Tesla stock is down in the pre-market, almost 4%. Is TSLA done? Is the rally gone? Just to recap, TSLA is up 37+% for the week. For the month, almost 55%. And with year-to-date gains of almost 35%, I'd say TSLA hasn't done too bad. But this recent rally has many wondering, where to from here?
Since Donald Trump's election win, the hedge funds clinging on to bets against Tesla have lost billions of dollars, feeling the fallout of the special relationship between the president-elect and Elon Musk. According to Bloomberg calculations, hedge funds that had short positions against Tesla between election day and Friday's close took an on-paper hit of at least $5.2 billion.
Damn, that's a lot of bread. Losing more than $1 billion a day? Couldn't be your boy.
This has been the calculus for some time, but that time period and a $5.2 billion loss is quite something, David.
It is. Look, people have lost money trying to short Tesla and bet against Elon Musk for a long time. But in this case, I think the bet was that his whole robotaxi plan, turning Tesla into an AI company, either wouldn't happen or wouldn't happen on time. So there would be a lot of bad or delayed news on Tesla, stock would go down and the shorts would do well with it. When in fact now you've got this tight relationship with Donald Trump. That means you'll see EV policies probably that are crafted to help Tesla, and more importantly, you'll probably see some sort of permissive federal framework for autonomous vehicles that will also help Tesla's plans for robotaxis. And investors like that, they're willing to bet on that. And the shorts, they got hit hard.
Of all the stocks in the stock market, shorting Tesla has to be one of the most idiotic things you could possibly do. There are so many varied opinions on where Tesla should be valued. That's painfully evident in TSLA's volatility. To those that are still shorting Tesla, there are better ways to waste that money. I'm sure this won't even stop those willing to take a short position on Tesla. As a matter of fact, their resolve is probably all the more stronger. And to that I say, buckle up, Buttercup.
Welcome back. Tesla shares popping yet again today, continuing to add to that post-election pop. My next guest calling President-elect Trump's victory a, quote, game changer for the EV maker. He's raised his price target now to $400 from $300.
400, that's pretty good. All-time highs somewhere around 414. How fast will Dan Ives raise or lower his price target? I imagine if we creep into that 375, 390, the Wedbush price target will vault to 450.
Why is this a game changer beyond the obvious of what people have seen thus far? This, what is a new and cozy relationship now between President-elect Trump and Elon Musk?
Yeah, I think it's the autonomous piece. I mean, if you look at full self-driving autonomous, I could argue it's the most undervalued AI play in the market today. And I think autonomous cyber cab and the timing, I think could get accelerated 2 to 3 years. And that's important in terms of from the sum of the parts, this stock, that could add $1 trillion of valuation alone, and you could be looking at 20, 30% more revenue per year that you even see today.
You think $2 trillion valuation over the next 12 to 18 months is reasonable?
I think it's conservative, potentially, if they actually execute on the vision that I see, not just in terms of autonomous and AI, but really it's more about that software penetration within Teslas from an FSD perspective. It changes the whole business model.
Bill, I'll start with you. We've watched Tesla doing incredibly well here, hitting some new recent highs. Can this go higher? And what about Elon Musk's involvement, reportedly, right? It seems like he may be joining the Trump administration in some way, shape, or form. Does that matter to shareholders?
So on Tesla, we're not current holders. We sold it several years back when it was running at a pretty significant multiple when you look at it relative to the other OEMs. They've had amazing success. When you look at the valuation now hitting $1 trillion intraday today, we think it's at fair value. But when you look at the revenue that they had last quarter, over 90% was due to their auto production. But per the call, CEO Elon Musk wants it to be predicated on a four-legged stool, energy transition, transportation, AI, and robotics. And it's early days on the other three legs of the stool, we believe. But it's now nipping at NVIDIA as far as the cap gains it's had the last several months.
Many analysts on Wall Street have kind of like blinders on when it comes to Tesla's automotive side of this business. But like Bill Page has said, there are three other prongs. Energy storage is taking off, and the plant being built over there in China, yeah, that's going to accelerate things quite dramatically worldwide. As far as AI and robotics, the 1010 event was plain for everyone to see. This is the vision that Tesla has in store for us. And with the Trump presidency, this vision becomes a little bit closer to reality. Not a lot of roadblocks for Tesla the company, so TSLA is apparently receiving the same treatment.
You look at some of these trends here, Steve. I know you formerly were on the board of Tesla. You've been a believer in Tesla. You did want a lower price vehicle. You thought that was important. We're not really hearing much about that. In the meantime, with Trump administration coming in, it seems that they'll get more regulatory favorable findings for full self-driving, autonomous, and that could help Tesla. Are you a big bull on Tesla once again? Because there was a time you were somewhat tepid and waiting for Elon Musk to put on his big boy pants and get some stuff together.
No, you said that, not me. No, so look, I've been one of the biggest bulls on Tesla for the last decade, but now it's a different story. They've got flatter growth. They did $96 billion in revenue last year, on track to do about $100 billion this year. But that's 4 or 5% growth, far cry from the 50% growth we saw just 2 or 3 years ago. Big picture, no $25,000 car on the horizon. Tesla betting the farm on full self-driving, but they appear to be at least a year or two behind Waymo. Saving graces, the energy will do about $10 billion this year, 50% year-over-year growth. They've got to ramp up auto sales to be valued like a tech company, not an auto company. So they got a tough road ahead of them.
What? None of that made any sense. You gotta ramp up your auto sales to be valued like a tech company? Over 90% of their revenues comes from selling cars. I get it. But even one of the biggest bulls on Wall Street for the past decade still can't see it. 1 to 2 years behind Waymo? In what way? Collecting fares for lackluster drives in a very limited area? That makes me want a horse laugh.
But I think it's going to be tough because, again, Tesla eked out the EV #1 spot in Q3, selling 463,000 units to BYD's 443,000. But when you add in hybrids, Tesla on track to do 1.85 million units this year. BYD is going to sell 4 million units. So the big smackdown, it's all about China. And China and BYD are coming out with this new BYD Seagull $10,000 car. That's going to be tough to compete with. And that gets to the whole issue of tariffs. And is the U.S. going to keep slapping tariffs on the Chinese cars? What happens if the Chinese start putting tariffs on American vehicles? So this is uncharted territory. We're going to have to watch this one closely. If I were an investor, I think BYD would be awfully attractive to me. Faster growth, increasing profitability.
I hate to break it to you, Steve, but Waymo, BYD, they not like us. You, of all people, should be aware of that.
Really, it was a tech story today and what limited the market, but consumer discretionary stocks continue to be powered by Tesla. It's just incredible. The EV biz is up 40% since the start of this month. Dan Ives at Wedbush raised the firm's price target on Tesla to 400 from 300. He calls Donald Trump's White House win a, quote, game changer for autonomous driving and AI. He anticipates a federal regulatory spider web will be cleared. That's another quote. However, the president-elect promised to eliminate EV tax credits, some arguing that could benefit Tesla, but that's a little bit more of a twisted logic.
twisted logic. If you clear the playing field and remove government assistance from automotive entirely, let free market just do its thing, the best product will win. No incentives for ICE, no incentives for hybrids, no incentives for EVs, considering Tesla has the best vehicle on four wheels, pound for pound, dollar for dollar. Their scale and pricing power due to incredible margins, building the best vehicles on four wheels, yeah, it stands to reason they would do fairly well with a level playing field. In conclusion, don't bet against Elon Musk. $5 billion in less than a week? But I'm sure there's gonna be a few of you out there that just won't learn your lesson. Tesla is not just your average automotive company. Sure, they make the best battery electric vehicles on the planet, and the world is transitioning to this powertrain. But it's not just about the EV. It's about the automation that's going to be coupled with it. Everybody else trying to do AVs is using LiDAR, radar, and other expensive sensors, and quite frankly getting limited results. Whereas Tesla is going for a vision-only approach with neural nets, a ubiquitous solution for the task of driving. Selling cars and energy storage products, yeah, that's very lucrative, but the foundation piece for Tesla becoming the most valuable company in the world is solving for FSD. Given enough time and data, Tesla will solve this problem, unlocking a multi-trillion-dollar industry that is autonomous ride-hail. And if that's not enough, the backbone of FSD will be transplanted from robots on four wheels to robots on two legs. There's a lot of work between now and then, but if there's any company that has a history of achieving the impossible, it's teams under the exceptional leadership of Elon Musk. That's all I've got for you today. Be easy. Peace.